with Shooting It with Schumann. All right, I got a quick thing before we talk about the 49ers today. Mike and I played a little golf yesterday, Del Paso Country Club.
Great track.
Thank you very much. It's a great track. Mike was able to we even ran into Sacramento legend Mike Pereira.
All right.
Mike Pereira and Mike Schumann had a little hug. You know, they talked about player to referee. So it was a great day of playing golf. Mike, what was your best part about the day? Was it my great game or your bad putting?
Well, I have to say, anytime you go play with somebody for the first time, you're kind of like, I wonder what kind of game Sid has. And he says he plays basketball, so I said he's probably an athlete. So he gets up. I think you might have hit before me. I can't remember, but he hit it. And I was like, oh, my goodness. This ball was just like, it was John Daly all over again. He was Sid Vicious the rest of the day. Just crushes the ball off the tee. And it's rare when I play, and you can say I hit the ball pretty good for my age.
You do, yes.
That somebody's hitting it 20 or 30 yards past me. So it took me about 3 holes to adjust to just that I was playing with somebody who was just blown away.
I got to hang out with Mike. He's big on the compliments.
It was insane.
What are you doing after this? Man?
But off the tee, I said that swing's not going to work in the rest of the game. And same swing, he just adjusted. He's got great hands. So I was impressed. I'll say that. I came out not knowing what to expect and came away. And then we had a great third guy, Buzz, who was a Cal alumni. I watched Craig Morton play, down in Berkeley. So it was a great group. Bunch of great guys. People were coming all over saying hello, including Mike Pereira. I couldn't believe it. So here's a guy who officiated my games. And if you saw me play, you're probably over 75 years old.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people out there, and it was just nice to be out there. Great day, great track. And I don't know if there's any openings, but if you want to join a great country club, Del Paso's it. It's right downtown here, and just had a great day.
Thanks for coming, Mike. Okay, so.
And real quick, I want to give Sac State a shout out.
Right.
Lost their first 2 games. They won the last 2, and they're now 2-2. Went to a game. They're a lot of fun to watch, a lot of speed on the team. So get out and support them.
Stingers up.
Well, they're trying to get to the next level, and they need more support and more NIL money. And so it's just interesting. We were talking about kids transferring, and they've got a couple great ones there. So if you get a chance, go out and support and watch them. It's a lot of fun.
Love it.
All right, Niners, Nick. Here we go.
We're 3-0.
3-0.
It's not always how you get there. Before we get to the game, my heart is broken for Nick Bosa. Third ACL. Man, that's going to be a big loss. I feel like he was actually, the stats might not say it, but he was playing amazing.
He was dominant.
Really terrorizing on the run. I think he's obviously one of the key pieces. So that's a big loss. So this one's for Nick. We're going to take it the rest of the way for you. 3-0. I missed on the over. I think Mike and I were big on the over. Definitely, that was like a rock fight in the first half.
It was an interesting game. For me, it was a great weekend. I bet against the 49ers, won with my points, and I thought it took the under. But anyway. And I want people out there who are watching this to know I still pull for the 49ers.
Okay.
But I just don't want them to win by more than I bet.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
Your bet's more
so it was
than
perfect weekend. They won.
Yeah, that's the double win right there.
I won my bet. And Nick Bosa, we talked about it in this league. Everybody can play, and they're just waiting for their turn, so it's next man up.
Yeah.
Love it.
And Bryce Hall, Love, and then on the other side, the rookie.
Michael.
Exactly. So I think they have enough depth there. Yeah, he dominates, but I think they'll still be effective without him.
You think Lynch looks at the market?
He might.
The
Hendrickson in Cincinnati wants out, so there's a lot of talk bringing him here on a one-year deal, and then he can decide what he wants to do after the season. So,
well, I got to bring up real quick that I did take the under. Maybe the only person over here that took the under.
So you did. Yeah,
that's a good win.
The under.
I took the under. I don't know what was going on, but that was a rock fight. Kind of a tough game to watch in the first half.
Well, the Cardinals always play him well.
They do.
Levi.
Yeah.
And I'll have to give you credit, too. You said Pearsall is going to break out. And first half, I'm going, Sid wasn't even close. Middle of the third quarter, he catches 5 in that one drive.
Yeah, that helmet catch, everything was looking good.
That was on 4th down. That was big.
And then and here's an example of the team starting to catch up to him. Not enough film on him. Ran a great route early in the game on a square, and he comes out of his break and comes back to the ball instead of going flat or drifting. I was really impressed. But then the interception was the same route on the other side. Teams pick up on it.
Yeah,
that quick.
yeah.
During the game,
Safety jump that too.
They pick up on that. So he's learning, but I tell you, each game I'm a lot more impressed with him. So.
Yeah, defense stepped up. I thought the secondary again. I talked about him last week. No one's talking about Demo.
Yeah.
They don't even throw to his side. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if there are any stats out there that support it, but like as far as targets go, he's not even close. And then you get the rookie in the slot, Stout, the biggest play of the game on defense. He makes it with the pass breakup. So I think that was maybe a troublesome unit. Defense coming in, and now they've really stepped up the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Lenore, I think I can't even remember, maybe 10 passes towards him in 3 games.
That's what I mean.
That's how dominant he's become, and teams are staying away from him, which is ridiculous, really, because you give up half the field almost. So, I mean, Bill Walsh, when he said, "Oh, this guy's the greatest corner ever," Bill would throw at him 6 straight times to prove it to us. Then we'll decide if he's that good. So I used to love that about Bill. Oh, really? This guy's good. All right, we're gonna our first 20 plays that he scripted. 8 of them would be against that corner.
So I got to give you credit, Mike, because you did call out Mac Jones would be your player of the game, and I think he gritted it out, whatever you want to say. The knee was hurting. I think he really put the team on his shoulders, and I think that was a big win for his confidence going forward. I think we can talk about it a little bit, but it looks like Brock might be back this week. We're hoping for it. Mike's saying no. They're leaning towards both being kind of limited in practice right now, but we'll see. But Mac Jones played a heck of a game. I really liked it.
Great last drive.
It's actually going to be who's hurt the least. Because Mac, he hurt that knee last year, I think. And so it came back. He got it tweaked, put a brace on, and that showed me a lot. This guy, he's a tough, gritty guy, like you said, Sid. And he brought him back again. So very impressive. But, Jacksonville's coming in. They won their first game. And
Jacksonville's not that bad.
They're not, but talk about a guy who just hasn't developed as Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law.
Got all the skills, but I don't know if he's just not being coached up. He didn't make the transition like Purdy is great at preparing for the game with limited skills. Trevor has all these physical skills, but he doesn't ever seem prepared and doesn't read defenses correctly. Guys are wide open. But they're coming off their first win. I rarely say this, but I think they'll be 4-0 going into the Rams. And I would not play Purdy next week. Let him rest.
You mean this week? Save him for the Rams.
Save him for the Rams. And although there's 2 ways to look at it, get him back in a rhythm this week. Maybe play him a couple series, see how he feels.
Sure.
But you don't want to get him re-injured.
I think it comes down to how healthy Mac is.
Yeah, that's true. And so it's that's going to be the case. And so that's going to be an interesting. How's your knee? How's your toe?
How's your shoulder?
Yeah, how's your shoulder? Which one? Which guy are we going to?
It's going to be one of them.
But we know for now, and for the first time in a long time, maybe under Shanahan, we've got 2 quarterbacks that we're confident in.
That's true.
And you don't even have to think about it if the backup has to start.
That's very true. All right, so this week's game, Jacksonville, Niners getting 3.5.
That's
right?
all.
Yep. And 47.5 on the total. Sid, who do we like? We're going to let you go first. You're coming off a win.
Coming off a great prediction last week.
Well, actually, you still had the Niners who didn't cover.
They didn't cover 2.5.
You guys each split. I went 0 for 2 on the Niners game.
Okay, so here we go. 49ers, 3.5. I'm going to, surprisingly, take the Niners and the 3.5. This week, though, so I think Brock Purdy's going to play. That's my prediction. I'm going to go with the over this week at 47.5. Wow. I think that Jacksonville, they got some playmakers. Yeah. I mean, they scored some points against the Bengals, although the Bengals don't have a ton of defense in week 2. So I'm going to take both those. I'm taking the Niners and the over this week. What do you got, Nick?
I got the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like the Niners. I think, again, Jacksonville's not that bad. I like their coach, Liam Cohen.
I do too.
Yep.
APN, the running back.
Yep.
They got some skill.
Robinson has got off to a really slow start. They're a good receiver, but still got a lot of talent. So I think they're able to score a little bit, which kind of forces the Niners to maybe play a little bit faster, to keep up and score. So I do like the Niners in the over. I don't think this is like a blowout game, though. I think it is going to be tight, somewhere in that 5 to 7 point Niner victory.
And I think when you talked about Nick Bosa earlier, he's the kind of guy, too. He's such the anchor of that defense. You're not sure how the team's going to react without their leading guy.
And you got
it's
kind of a trap game with Rams ahead.
And you have Fred Warner, of course, who can keep him inspired. And he may be, top candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Right?
I think so.
So I'm going to, where I'm going. So I'm going to take Jacksonville 3.5.
You said
I'm not going to shave. I'm not
like it every week. The Niners win.
I'm not going to shave or get a haircut to the Niners lose. All right. So, and just with that, and then, like I said, Jacksonville won last week. Lawrence has some confidence because he's got so much skill. When he came out, it was a Clemson. I just said, this guy's going to tear the league up.
Big, good athlete, great arm.
How many guys have you seen go through Jacksonville and have to go elsewhere to be rehabbed at every position? So I'll take Jacksonville to 3.5, and I'm going to take the under just a little bit. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'll take the under on this.
Okay.
And like we talked about, Kyle, Friday he's going to say, okay, Mac, how's your knee? All right.
Yeah.
Brock, how's the toe? And Brock.
I think this line could change before Sunday.
And I think, too, what we're seeing with Brock, the last 3 years, he was that story. He was the last draft, Mr. Irrelevant. Now he's making money. All right. So the pressure is on him now to play. And I think a little bit, he's very religious. Catholic guilt is wanting him to get out there. And I can say that because I'm Catholic. To prove to everybody that, he's worth the money they got. So for him to get that contract, get hurt this early in his first season, getting paid, it's tough on a player. So it'll be interesting to see how he
long season ahead, bro.
It is, but
time.
Will he come back and get back to distributing the ball like Mac Jones is and he was early in his career instead of trying to make big plays and earn my $53 million a year.
Just be you.
So I'm going to take Jacksonville, and they're on a roll. The fact they lost Bosa, and we'll see. And looking ahead to the Rams, like you said.
Yeah. So I had that written down. The look ahead game, right? Are they looking forward?
Right.
The trap game. Are they looking forward to that Rams game? But
they haven't lost, have they, the Rams?
No, they lost last week.
Yeah,
that's right. The Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles, which I got in around the NFL. So let's pick our player of the week or a player to watch. Why don't you go first, Mike? Who you got this week for a player to watch?
On the 49ers?
On the 49ers.
McCaffrey still hadn't broken it. I mean, he's getting up.
Most touches in the NFL.
I know, and he's getting his 100 yards, but it's not. He hadn't had that 150-yard game rushing. So I'll go with him, and I don't know if Jawan Jennings is back. I don't know. So there's just who is it?
DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, don't bring him up. He's my guy.
DeMarcus Robinson.
DeMarcus Robinson.
Suspension, right?
Suspension.
All right, so he's coming back, and a lot of times guys like that. Yeah. He's determined to prove that,
fresh body.
Fresh legs, everything. So, but I'm going to go with McCaffrey. He's still kind of due. And if I don't see a breakout game for him rushing here pretty soon, I'm just going to assume this is what he is at this point. Because running backs got about 5 years in them, and then they're done.
Yeah.
They just take such a pounding.
So, Sid, you got Robinson.
So, here's my guy. I got him written down. DeMarcus Robinson. I watched some preseason film on him, right? They really liked the way he was playing. Jennings is hurt. My boy Ricky's got a little knee issue, right? So I think
he's fine.
Yeah, I think he's fine, right? He's always fine, right? But I think DeMarcus Robinson's going to be a key player in this game. Brock or Mac are going to be throwing it to him. I think he's going to be running some routes, and I think he's going to be a key player in this game. That's my guy.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, there's a lot of guys I like on the Niners, but I'll go with Huff. Inspired performance, filling in for Bosa, makes an impact, gets a couple sacks. So that'd be my guy. There are some really intriguing NFL games this weekend.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
The Colts punted.
Yeah.
The Colts actually punted.
They're on my list.
You brought it up last week. The Colts actually had a punt.
Yeah. Colts are 3-0, 1 punt, 0 turnovers in 3 games. That's wild.
Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year, the quarterback for sure.
And he's
live for MVP.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine? And the Giants is another place. They just benched Russell Wilson for Nixon Dart, the rookie. So that'll be.
Colts got the Rams this week. So that's a big game.
That could help.
That's on my list, right? Beat up the Rams a little bit. Colts play a physical style. So that'll be a big test for the Colts, I think. Rams are good. They've been 3-0, haven't maybe beat the best teams. Denver's good, but not great. So I think that's a big game. But, man, Kansas City and Baltimore are both 1-2.
Is that tonight?
That is Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Yeah.
One of those teams is going to be 1-3.
So can they make it
and done?
And you think done, huh?
Yeah, you 1-3 to come back from that and get in the playoffs is tough.
Okay. I got written down here, the NFC West is actually pretty good.
No, it's really good.
Right? I mean, that we talked about a little
Four
bit.
good teams.
Yeah, I think there's 4 good teams there every time. And that, unfortunately, for the Niners, every time we play the NFC West, it's going to be a tough game this year. So I think the NFC West might get 2, maybe 3 playoff teams.
I was going to say, it's probably the best conference in the league right now.
Yeah, I think that's what I got written down. What else you got, Nick?
I got 2 3-0 teams, Philly, Tampa Bay this weekend. That could be interesting. That's a big kind of tilt in the NFC. Somehow Tampa Bay, they're hurt, really beat up. Offensive line all moved around. Mike Evans is hurt. Yet somehow Baker is just willing them to win.
3 last drives to win all 3 games.
Miraculous, man.
Did you see that with a clip of him telling the rookie to not disrespect the passes like that?
Don't
you catch it
one-handed when you could do 2.
Why you disrespected my passes? I think that's a great point. And that Eagles block punt to win the game, too.
Block field goal.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that was...
Lots of block field goals.
A lot of block field goals, a lot of defense.
And the Eagles look bad.
They haven't looked good, but yet they're 3-0. And that's what they did last year to get there.
All you want to do early in the season is find a way to win. Then you'll find out who your team is. I mean, we got Kittle coming back, IU coming back, so they can get to the Rams at 4-0.
I love it. Then my last thing for this week is Micah Parsons back to Dallas. That's always going to be an adventure. Jerry, he did not do well in the whole Micah situation. He already came out and said, no tribute video. So I just think that's a circus, right? That's worth watching. I know Micah's going to be motivated. They even showed an interview where Jerry called him Michael a bunch of times. So maybe they'll put a picture of him that says, thank you, Michael, on the screen.
Nothing worse than being disrespected as a player.
Yes.
Especially a great player like that. He thought, there's no way I'm going to leave Dallas. And here he is in Green Bay.
That's right.
But he's probably going to the playoffs now.
Yeah. Conference rival. So I think just a lot of fun things to watch this weekend that I'm super excited about.
And the last thing I have, I think this is the only time that I would ever double box the 49ers, the Ryder Cup. Okay?
All right, here we go.
Mike, we haven't even talked about it. We talked about it a little bit
on the course yesterday.
Yeah. But the Niners and the Ryder Cup singles matches, man, I'm not leaving the couch.
You got to get the quad box.
Just those 2. I don't need the other NFL games.
No, I agree.
I want those 2 on my screen watching. Hopefully the USA can pull it off in New York. I know you're not a big golf guy.
I'm a big USA guy, though.
Big USA, right?
Yeah, and we talked about it all day yesterday, so it'll be interesting. And all the talk is how the fans are going to be treating the Europeans here in America. Let's hope it doesn't get ugly.
It's going to get ugly.
It's going to handle respectfully.
But respectfully, exactly. Because
no fights, just words.
Exactly. That's what I'm afraid of. So a fight's going to break out outside the ropes, and it would be horrible for the sport. But it's going to be maybe one of the interesting, because both teams are so loaded that we maybe have ever seen. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. So this Sunday, watch some NFL, go USA, and hopefully the Niners 4-0 on our next recap.
By 4 points.